How can naming OCD be helpful for children? Well, you see, children with OCD are often confused about what is happening to them. The OCD is involuntary, it's intrusive, the thoughts just pop into their minds. They don't know why they're having them, they don't know where they come from, and so they often begin to feel scared and embarrassed and ashamed, and they might blame themselves or think something's wrong with them and they're crazy. And therefore, naming OCD helps them sort of reframe it as something external to themselves. So often, they might say it's Mr. Jeremy or Mr. Just Right that's, sort of bossing me around. And that helps them separate themselves and remove some of that shame and blame. And likewise, it helps the family reframe the OCD and not kind of be angry at the child or upset at the child, but really be upset at this externalized, entity, which is the OCD. Now, young kids generally like, perhaps naming the OCD, but older kids or teens may find it a little silly or childish, and that's okay. So it's not necessary to name the OCD, and if older kids want to just call OCD what it is, just having that name is a way of externalizing it in the same way. Because, they're old enough to understand obsessive compulsive disorder and what it means, but young children may prefer to have an easier name. So some of the kinds of names, kids may come up with, and it's useful to ask them for ideas because kids can be very creative, and the names might sort of pertain to what is the most prominent OCD symptom for them or what is kind of bothering them the most. So again, a child with contamination may call it Mr. Wishy-washy or Just Right, Mr. Just Right, or, they might like to give it sort of a personalized identity like a Mr. or a Miss kind of name. Some of the other names may be bad guy or, the ugly thoughts person, something like that.